Good morning, everyone. I'm Jenny Dawanis, and my study is all about the concept of Inayan culture relating to the cultural beliefs and practices of Cordillera, home of the most disciplined cops. Cordillera has been recognized as the home of the most disciplined cops or police officers for being silent in the media for any indecent acts and for being able to maintain the low crime rate within the locality. It was reported by the National Police Commission and the Community Evaluation Survey that the police officers got near perfect scores in satisfaction, trust, respect, and safety. Such good reports are associated with the fact that they were raised in the Cordillera following the cultural belief of Inayan. But then, it was not emphasized or explained properly in the reports what does Inayan means and how did it become one of the reasons why the Cordilleran police officers are tagged as the most disciplined police officers in the nation. This study is conducted to have a more in-depth exploration and understanding regarding the Inayan culture. To define, Inayan culture is a lexicon spoken mainly by the Kankanaay, which means to hold back or to prevent an individual from doing something unpleasant towards others. It is the fear of whom they called Kabunyan or God. It embodies all virtues and morals. Literature review, Inayan, the Tenet for Peace. This study discusses more on what the Inayan culture is all about and how it is perceived by the Cordilleran people. A study of how Japan's cultural norms affect their policing and made the Japanese police officers reluctant to use violence. According to study of Black's theory, in the event that the culture means of social control in a world are weak, then the trend for the culture is to include laws which have more powerful social control. The research design is qualitative approach with an ethnographic design since the study is all about culture of a particular group. The respondents are Cordilleran police officers currently deployed in Benguet Mobile Force Company and Bugyas Municipal Police Station. There are limitations considered in conducting in coming up to the results of the study. The respondents are coming from one municipality to represent Cordillera. Since the study of Inayan culture in relation to the policing system of Cordillera is new and was not studied before, there are limited sources. Though there are studies conducted regarding Inayan culture, it is not related to the police officers. It is merely about what is Inayan culture. To collect as much data, questionnaire and interview guide were prepared. Due to the current situation, following the health and safety protocols, the interview was conducted through online meeting platforms. The interview was conducted following the proper procedure and the ethics of conducting research interview. Letter of permission was given to the dean to ask for permission to proceed with the study. Then a letter of request was sent to the stations for approval. In the treatment of data, the process of thematic analysis was followed. From the transcription of the interview, coding, and then coming up to the accurate themes. Results and discussion. Inayan culture applied in the policing system as guidance and protection. The job of policing is unique as police officers provide a visible representation of the law and everyday society. They are tasked to perform what was included in their sworn duty or in the policing system that serves as their guidelines. As mentioned by one of the respondents, handling cases is always something a police officer must handle carefully and rightly and always make sure that the justice is served. But in order to do so, their belief of the Inayan culture serves as their guidance and protection. Guidance in deciding what could be the right action and at the same time, protection from the illegal activities. Inayan culture in the policing system are intertwined with each other or closely connected. Policing consists of written guidelines and rules while Inayan culture is an unwritten law, but both are carried out and applied by police officers to avoid getting punishment. They follow the guidelines or the policing system to avoid being punished by the law or the government. While in doing so, they also apply their Inayan belief that if they go against what is in accordance to the culture, they would be expecting punishment from Kabunyan. The effects of Inayan culture in the job performance of the police officers. The culture affected the moral aspect most of the time. Accordingly, they become more kind and tolerant. They are urged to have sense of right and wrong. It was observed that the culture reminds them to be disciplined and spelled out doing the good deeds as part of the image building effort of the police officers. Culture as a guiding beacon. It was observed that the Cordilleran police officers believe that there is someone higher than them. Guiding beacon means a warning or a support. Their belief of the Inayan becomes a warning, similar to the principle of karma, or whatever you do to others could happen to you. I want to share this statement quoted from the story of one of the respondents. As an Igorot law enforcer who have deep respect of our ancestors who have started this culture, I can proudly say that it has always been my strength where I draw inspiration from. In my 25 years in service already, being assigned in the 3 major islands in the country, with the guidance of the Inayan principle, I always made sure that I deliver the best service a police officer can give. Being God-fearing, service-oriented, and family-based, as deeply practiced in our culture, I have stood out in every assignments I had, making me a 7 times national awardee from countless special and other awards given by the PNP. Cordilleran police officers able to integrate the principle of Inayan culture in their field of work through instinctual in nature. Nowadays, it was observed that the culture from other places are slowly fading because of the emergence of the technologies, but the Cordilleran or the Igorots' adherence to the Inayan culture remains. As claimed by the respondents, we are born with it, so we automatically act as such. The culture binds them together. It was deeply rooted in their veins that it becomes their way of life. It's a control and reminder. Police officers are expected to be in a stressful and challenging environment or field of work, but the results reveal that being connected with the culture serves as the reminder towards being righteous public servant. Despite of being in a mixed ethnicity, their belief remains valued. As claimed by the respondent, when your maximum tolerance is tested or when you encounter criminals that takes you and your beliefs, you tend to control your emotions and maintain rationality. That's the reason why they become controlled at the same time, reminded of what they should supposed to be. Based on the findings of the study, the following conclusions are derived. Inayan is defined to be the only command given by Kabunyan or God to the Igorots to have peaceful and progressive life. The real essence of Inayan is upholding goodness. You do not do such bad things because it is bad, and on the opposite of the line, you do good things because it is good. The Cordilleran or the Igorot police officers believe that Inayan is a principle that prohibits an individual to do something wrong or bad, most especially towards other people. It is a practiced principle of not going against the law of Kabunyan because the wrath of Kabunyan might be worse than you have expected. Based on the conclusions, the following recommendations are proposed. The principle of Inayan to be disseminated to the younger generation. Further research related may be undertaken to explore more on the effects of Inayan culture and how it is explained by different tribes. Also, a study of other culture and beliefs similar to Inayan culture to determine other similarities and significances of the culture. That's all. Again, good morning. Thank you for listening. Salamat namwaw, mayate ago tako amin.